just ask one? Sure. I know what he will be doing, because I know, I have a feeling we're gonna be, we're gonna be working together.
Right.
But what is my contribution exactly, do you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's twofold. I mean, so he's a super duper natural healer type, you know. I mean, he can move energy. He doesn't even know how he moves energy. He just can move energy. It's like there's certain people that are just built that way, and if you even ask them how they do it, they don't even know. Do you know what I mean? It's just like their whole body is designed to be a giant roto-rooter, you know, and it just automatically does it. For you, you actually partially at first are going to be a translator. You're also going to be a marketer, and you're also going to be the person that you're very safe. And everybody will love to talk to you, okay? So they feel safe and they can open up to you, and then they will come because they know you and they can feel safe with you. Whereas his energy is much more intense, which is why he's so quiet, okay? And so his energy is like this. So he can intimidate, not meaning to, I mean, which is why he tries to be so quiet, you know, but he's carrying a force of energy inside of him that he sees things that sometimes he thinks he shouldn't say, you know, and it happens a lot. So you're an interesting blend, but you have your own healing, intuitive skills. You're very psychic in certain ways, but it's almost coming through a verbal expression of seeing images and pictures and being able to define something or explain something, right? So I think you two working together would be great because he's going to pull the energy out and move the energy. You'll be able to see what that energy is about and explain it to them and what's going on in a way that they can understand, because he knows how to do it. Yeah, right? You're welcome. Lisa, somebody else?
I have 3 questions.
Okay.
And the first one, my daughter, she's 38 years old. She was married, and she's supposed to marry last month, but canceled the marriage. So my question is, if she would marry and if she would have children, she's really depressed right now.
She's in a lot of conflict. She really is. She's in a lot of conflict. What's her birth date?
I'm thinking. Okay, hold on, please.
That's okay.
November 14th and 1971. November 14th.
I totally understand why she almost got married right here, because she's totally numerologically in the door to be able to get married. So I'm sure she was standing right in the right door at the right time, but it might not have been the right guy. But energetically she was ready. So energetically she was ready, but it might not have been the right person, which is sort of interesting. Let's see, we've got this is a very smart girl. She's very bright.
She is. She is.
You know, so it's a little bit of a problem because she's so smart. Do you know what I mean? So she's not a passive, quiet yes woman. You know, she's a very powerful, outspoken, dynamic energy. She's very smart and bright. She's very, very kind, but she's very intense. You know, she's got an intensity, and so that might be a little intimidating to some men. Okay, so I always say men are on a food pyramid, and there's a whole bunch of old-style controlling ones at the bottom, and they want to say it's my way or the highway. And then in America, we have a lot of second-stage men, which are really about fairness. It's like, well, you have your money and I have my money, and we'll share, and and they want the fairness factor, which is an evolutionary step out of being the macho jerk. Okay, but then there's a higher level guy that is about he's opening love, and he knows that his gift as a masculine is to open the feminine into spaces that she doesn't know how to open herself. What's good about your daughter is she's looking for that top one. And that's like a food pyramid, so there's very few at the top, and there's a whole bunch of ones at the bottom, and so she's going, no, 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 oh maybe, so it's sort of like, it's hard for her to find the right one. So, but she's standing right in the doorway, so this entire year, she's standing in the doorway all the way through to her birthday, 2011. So she's standing in the doorway, which is great. She is going to, I'd say she's got like maybe a year and 8 months. It says there like a year and 8 months she might get married. Does she live here?
California.
Okay, where in California?
Santa Monica.
Where?
Santa Monica.
Santa Monica. Yeah, that's good. That's over by water.
Yeah, she's doctor. She graduated Harvard and MIT.
Yeah, she's very bright. So I go, that's the right spot. That's the right spot for her. So, she'll get there. She'll definitely get married. She'll get there. She's just slow. She's very slow. It's very un-Scorpio of her, but because Scorpios love sex and love and intimacy, and all, they do. But in her case, she's picky. She's very, very picky, and she needs a very, very intelligent, very smart man that is not intimidated by her.
So she will meet the very smart man.
Yeah.
Will she have children?
She hasn't decided. So she hasn't decided. So it's not set. Yes. So it's a little like this. So she's not sure. It's not that she can't. It's that she's not sure she wants to. So it's this little bit of a, you know,
She
kind
really
of.
wants it.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't have the guy though, so she's got some sort of rule in her head. So she's not going to have a child without the guy there. Do you know what I mean? She wants to be married, and she wants to have the house, and she wants to have the security, and then she wants to have the child, right? So the cards are a little like this, and it says that she has probably 2 years and 7 months to decide. So it's going to happen within the next 2 years and 7 months, or it won't happen. So it's like you've got a gauge of time there.
For the children.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And the third question?
Yes, sorry.
That's
and
okay.
then another question is, I was very sick lately. And how about my health? I'm really concerned about.
Okay. So what's your birthday?
January 20, 1946.
Okay. So part of that was that there was a whole bunch of stuff affecting Aquarius. And so there were a whole bunch of eclipses that were in Aquarius, and eclipses are kind of confusing with the energy. It's hard to see clearly, so my guess is you had a lot of weird health stuff. So it's like, you know, it was hard to deal with. It was confusing a little bit. So we've got 13, 14, 15, 6. It is getting better. The good news is that it's getting better. Yeah, it's better. It's better. It's better. It's definitely getting better. So whatever you did something right, okay, which is really good. So you've done the right thing, you've done the right order, you're taking responsibility, you're physically stronger, you're better. You're definitely better. So you're good. And you should go a long ways. I mean, your numbers don't die quickly, so 10, 23, 10, yeah, you should be fine. Yeah, you're very strong. You're very determined.
Third question is, how about my job? And am I will be retired pretty soon, or am I continue to work? And
It says you could retire in the next 2 years. Do you want to retire in the next 2 years?
probably.
Yeah. So, because it's like you are going to retire. It's like, yes, you're definitely going to retire in 2 years. Okay. Which is good. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Hey, I have a daughter who's moving to the Northwest for a job.
Okay.
What do you see for her?
What's her birthday?
August 17th, 84.
4. So let's see, we've got 16, 26, 27, 28 is 10. Standing in the door. She's definitely standing in the door. It's great. It's great. Does it seem great?
She thinks so.
Yep. I mean, it's the Sun card. I mean, she thinks it's great. I mean, the Sun card is the best card, the happiest card, the woohoo card. It's like yes, 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 yes. So I go, yeah, you know, absolutely. Are you upset that she's got the job? Or?
Well, she just, she's in D.C. and she met a guy there who's going to be stationed in Florida.
Oh.
So she sort of sees herself, she put a request in to move to Florida.
Okay.
So her job has been assigned to the Northwest. So I just wondered if she's really going to stay there. Or...
She's going to like it. She's actually going to like that job.
Okay.
She actually is really going to like that job. So it's a great move. It's a great opportunity. It's a great location. I mean, he's not there, so that's going to be kind of a bummer. Is she going to be okay flying back and forth?
She's a Leo.
Okay. She'll be fine. Leos will be fine.
And, I also have a son who's in law enforcement.
Okay.
Do you see anything interesting for him in the near future?
Okay.
Or in the future?
Give me his birthday again.
January 7th, 86.
Okay. So Pluto is in Capricorn, and so Pluto is the planet of death, rebirth, transformation, and karma. During the Pluto transit, he needs to be really, really careful because Pluto will have a tendency to create situations that are kind of dangerous or problematic or a health crisis for him. So, and that was my first hit before I pulled the cards, and the very first card I pulled was the Devil card, which means that he has to be very aware of being in the wrong place at the wrong time, or being in a very dangerous situation that he doesn't read properly at that moment, and he actually could be in danger. Now, when Pluto crosses the exact degree of his sun sign is when it's going to be the most dangerous, and I don't have my ephemeris with me in front of me, but I would guess it's about 2014, 15, right in there somewhere, would be my guess. And he does have to be careful. And yeah, I mean, as an example, I had another client of mine whose son was in the police department, and out of nowhere again, you know, it's like I was doing another reading and I saw this particular type of vehicle. I saw him going up to that particular type of vehicle, and I saw a gunfight and a really dangerous situation. And so, I mean, I picked up the phone and called the dad and said, you need to tell him this and this and this, and the vehicle looks like this, and the weather is like this, and da-da-da-da-da-da, and I laid the whole thing out, and sure enough, you know, within a couple months, it was that particular situation, and he saw the car, and he remembered what I said, and immediately drew his gun, and sure enough, it was like drug dealers in a car, and there were guns and everything. He, you know, didn't even go up to the car. He asked everybody to come out of the car. So, you know, I'm just saying that with the Pluto there, he has to be much, much more aware of his situations and his surroundings. So what is his specialty?
Funny, because a year ago you told me that same story.
Hate it when I repeat myself. Yeah, hate it when I repeat
Which is kind of why I asked about it.
Yeah.
And it's in that kind of work. It's in that
Yeah.
kind of work.
So,
Okay, and how about for myself?
okay.
My boring little life compared to
Your
my
boring
kids.
little life. This doesn't look very boring. It actually looks like,
I'm just kidding.
you know, it looks like you love to learn and you love to grow and you love to have overview and clarity, and you're getting more and more clear and more conscious, and you're really learning a lot of incredible skills related to communication and really opening doors into your own deep consciousness. And so this is actually a very, very good time for you. I mean, do you feel like it's a really expansive time for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
I mean,
time
if
to
these were my
change.
cards, I'd be like, great. You know, it's very consciousness oriented, and it's calm, you know, by comparison to the astrology happening right now. Like, you're pretty good.
Okay.
Okay. So somebody else. Okay.
Dreams have been coming to me, and I dreamed of the lotus flower, just the bud of the lotus flower,
Nice.
and then it opened up.
Uh-huh.
What does the lotus flower represent?
Lotus flower represents the crown chakra, so it's like 1,000-petaled lotus. So when you start seeing lotuses blooming, it means that there's an expansion of your crown chakra trying to open, which is really great. It's
Yeah.
fabulous and wonderful. So, and you see a lot of the deities in Buddhism that are actually sitting on lotuses, which represents that clarity, that they're sitting on this kind of clarity and crystal clear awareness and objectivity and all that kind of stuff. So it's really nice. It's less dense. You know, it's very ethereal and spiritual, and I think you get a lot of information there. So,
Okay, I love that.
yeah.
How, you know, is marriage coming in, financial, move
Marriage.
away from my responsibility I have?
There is a man trying to come in within the next year. So it means from now, for an entire year, there's a door. And this person is very artistic and very creative and very deep and very
Do
sensitive.
I know him now?
No, Michael the Archangel is bringing him in. Okay, so you don't know him yet, which is great. So the money, you're not where you want to be, but you're steady. So you're not exactly where you want to be, but you're consistent.
I have a pen.
Yeah.
Like I can see.
Yeah.
Got 4 options to take care of it.
Right, right. So
That's how I live.
yeah, exactly, just a moment to moment. So, and then you said moving, that's the other one you said. Can't move right now. Yeah,
Yeah,
can't
it
move right
seems
now.
like when that train comes in from Salt Lake, Next Street into Main Street into Bountiful,
Right.
Layton,
Right,
Roy, Utah.
that'll be good.
That's when it will open up.
Yeah, so you just have to wait. There's timing on everything. I hate that when I have to wait.
2012, that's too long.
Yeah. Okay.
My son's still with me. And the grandson, I feel like he has improved.
Okay.
listens to me about his diet, and I've been on Pearl and asked him to forget Mountain Dew,
Okay,
and he's doing that.
cool.
He seemed to come talking to me more, and I don't know if he's manipulating me or
No, actually,
if
he's
really
trying.
opening up.
He's trying. Yeah, so he's actually trying. He's trying to come at this from a very different angle. So he's kind of growing up a little bit, which is good.
Yeah, I told him, lay off his dad, don't argue with him.
Yeah.
I said, your dad's got health problems, and I have to lay off, so you lay off.
There you go. Okay. Okay, you behind her.
Yeah, I've got 3 boys.
Okay.
My youngest one is the one I'm most concerned about,
Okay.
and my middle one. But I also have a question about my oldest.
Okay. So who should we start with?
Start with the oldest and go to the last one.
Okay, starting with the oldest, so give me the oldest birthday.
May 17th of 62.
Okay. 8, 5, 8, 9, 10, 23, 24, 25, 26. So we've got, okay. So the oldest, it's kind of going through a tough time too. Do you feel like the oldest is going through a tough time too?
Is what?
The oldest is going through a tough time also?
No.
He's in a planning, strategizing, structuring year, but he's in a cycle that actually is going to get kind of dense. So when you're in a planning phase, it doesn't feel too bad, but the next phase right after that is kind of a very intense kind of phase. So I'm kind of like trying to give the heads up that not this year, but next year is going to be a little bit more intense for him, and so he needs to plan because it might be more intense. He's very clever, he's very creative, he's highly communicative, he's very perceptive, he's very grounded, he really operates from a place of fairness, and so this is a good guy. I mean, he's a really, really good guy. Do you know if anybody in your family is ill or older? I mean, one of the things that these numbers can do is that somebody could have a health crisis.
That's my youngest.
Aha, okay. So that's what it is. Okay, so that's what the hit will be next year, is the health
Okay,
crisis.
but with the oldest one, there is kind of a situation, and I want to know if it's his.
It says no. She's like,
Okay,
Okay.
the middle one,
okay. Give me the middle one's birthday.
November 8th of 63.
8, 9, 10, 10, 20, 11. Wow, that one's a handful. Let's see if we've got a 10.
He is a handful.
Mm-hmm. 10, 20, 21, 22. Oof. Okay, yeah, that one's got, you know, this one's going to make it hard. It's going to make it hard no matter what. It's going to do it his way no matter what. I mean, you know, so it's kind of like the school of hard knocks. You just got to let him do it. And you can warn him, you know, just go, warning, school of hard knocks. And they're going to make mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. So they're really struggling, and they have made a few bad choices.
He has made many bad choices.
Yeah, I was trying to be nice.
Many, and I want to know now if the bad choice that he's accused of, did he do?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. The third one is the one I'm most concerned.
Okay.
September 29th of 64.
Okay. 10, 20, 22. Okay. Just so you don't think you're going crazy. Saturn, the planet of hard work and struggle, went into Libra, and he's an early degree Libra, and he's getting nailed by this thing right now. And so everything is not going to work. I mean, just nothing's working, crash and burn, total disaster, unbelievable struggle. Saturn is like a brick, and Libra is like a hummingbird. It's like putting a brick on a hummingbird. And unfortunately, he's lacking the strength to be able to push out of it, which is part of the lesson, but he really doesn't know how. He actually doesn't know how to get out of this situation. You
Right.
know, it's completely overwhelmed him.
Mhm.
He's stuck. He's totally stuck to deal with this. It's going to be hard. He actually has, he has been a force to be reckoned with in past lives, but in this lifetime he's learning compassion, and he's learning to understand his feelings, and that's not his best thing. Okay, so he's got to have to learn to have compassion on himself, and he's got to learn to realize how his emotions really mess with his reality, and he cannot trust what he feels, because he keeps thinking, well, I feel it, so I'm going to go with that. I'm like, you know, don't do that. So he's not making the best choices either.
No, he's not. I agree with that.
And and honestly, he's making impulsive emotional choices when he should be really thinking it through and taking feedback from older, wiser people. But we know how that happens. So he's up against it really hard, and these numbers and the number pattern he's in, and the fact that he's a Libra, it's one of the hardest patterns I've seen. It's one of the hardest patterns I've seen. So I kind of go, ouch. He's going to have a very tough time getting through this. And it's going to take probably it's going to take for sure another year and 7 months, and it might take 5 years altogether.
So are you telling me that he has 5 years?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a doorway at 3 years to exit, okay? But he could have 5, but there is a doorway at 3.
Okay, he has a daughter. Will she be in his life at all?
Yes, but it's incredibly difficult, and there's a block. So he's going to have to figure out a way to bring her in, and it's a tricky way. It's the moon. I always like to think of the moon as, remember in Lord of the Rings, and they're at the gate to the dwarf kingdom, and they have that riddle over the door, and it says, "Speak, friend, and open." He's going to have to figure out the riddle. So he's going to stand in this door, and he's got to figure out a riddle, and it's a simple riddle, but he doesn't realize it. So it looks really hard, it looks really difficult, it looks really challenging, just like that riddle, but it's actually just the word in dwarfish, friend. So he can figure it out, but he's going to make it complicated at first in order to get it through. You know, so if he can just remember to keep it simple. So if this were my kid, I would say to him, sometimes in life, you're standing on one side of a road, the other side of the road has been washed out by a landslide, and somehow you have to get to the other side of the road, but you have no idea how to go, and there's sheer cliffs on both sides. There is a way across, but he can't see it because he's thinking in the wrong way. You know, so that he has to think in a new way. He has to let go of his perceptions.
He's got a lot of resentment.
Yeah, he's got a lot of anger he's
Yes.
carrying. He's carrying a ton of anger. And so, you know, he's searching for balance, and he's searching for peace, but he's completely not at peace. Completely not at peace. So the health stuff and everything that's happening right now is related to the fact that, you know, his body is saying, if you don't change your perception, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to take you out of the game.
I'm going to kill him if he doesn't change.
Spoken like a mother. I'll take a stick to you myself.
How old is he?
45.
Yeah.
Let him go.
Strong-willed little sucker.
All of them.
Yeah. Okay,
I
somebody
got
else.
3 of them too.
Anybody else? Okay.
Can you tell me something about like also the teaching of